Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we have completed our module 1, and inshallah today we are going to begin module 2, and this is our lesson 6. In the first 5 lessons we covered module 1 inshallah, and module 2 is starting, and this is our lesson 6. So as you can see on the screen that this module is concept of murakkab. What is murakkab? The English word is compound. Let's see what is murakkab. If two or more words are joined together, this combination is called murakkab or compound. Clear? So if more than one word come together, they make a combination, and this combination is called murakkab or compound. Now there are two categories of this murakkab or this combination or this compound. Now category A is murakkab naqis, which means a phrase. And what is it? If we have more than one word together, but they are not conveying any message. Okay. For example, if I say in the room, okay, or I say good boy, or I say Ahmad's car. As you can see in all of these three examples, we have more than one word, but these are not conveying a complete message. We call them murakkab naqis. Naqis means incomplete. Okay. Or actual English word is phrase. Okay. And category B is murakkab tam. Tam means complete, which is mean a sentence in which we have a combination of more than one word, and this combination is conveying a complete message as well. Examples: Ahmed goes to school. As you can see, it's a combination of words, and this combination is conveying the complete message. We call it murakkab tam, being the complete compound or sentence. Okay. Now in this module, which is module 2, will only be concerned with the category A, which is murakkab naqis. Inshallah, murakkab tam will be discussed in module 3 and 4. Okay. Let's inshallah begin our study of murakkab naqis or phrase. As you can see on the screen, in Arabic language, or at least at this our foundational course, we'll deal with these 4 types of phrases. Okay. So murakkab naqis, which is the first category, it has these 4 subcategories, or you can say in the category of murakkab naqis, we have these 4 types of murakkab naqis. One is al murakkab at tawsifi, which means the adjective phrase. We'll see inshallah in a minute. And then second is al murakkab al idafi, the relative phrase. Inshallah, in today's lesson, because we are only covering these first 2, so inshallah in the next one I will introduce to you these next 2 as well. But for now, let's look at this number 1 and number 2 one by one. So number 1, al murakkab at tawsifi, which means adjective phrase. What is it? A combination of 2 ism, where one ism is being described by the other. Example: good boy. As you can see, good and boy, it's a combination of 2 ism. Okay. And secondly, good is the description of who? Of the boy. So boy is being described by good. According to Arabic language, this description, which is good, is called sifa, and the one being described, boy, is called mawsuf. So this has 2 parts. The one being described is called mawsuf, description is called sifa, and both of them together, which mean mawsuf and sifa together, we call them al murakkab at tawsifi or mawsuf sifa. Okay, these are the 2 names we can use for them. Now let's look Arabic example inshallah for further clarification. Rasulun Karimun, a noble messenger or a generous messenger. Okay, now look at this. We have 2 ism, Rasulun and Karimun. And Rasulun is being described by Karimun. In other words, Karimun, which means noble or generous, is the description of Rasulun. Clear? Now, the one being described is Rasulun. We'll call this one Mawsuf. And the one which is, and the description itself is Karimun. So Karimun is called Sifa. Okay, so Rasulun is Mawsuf, Kareemun is Sifa, and both of them together are called Murakkab Tawsifi. Clear? Now, these are the points which you need to remember regarding Murakkab Tawsifi. Point number one, in English language, as I said before in the example, good boy, you first have the description and then you have the ism which is being described. Good is the description, so which is first, and then you have the boy, which is the one being described. Arabic is the opposite. You first have the one being described, which is Mawsuf, and then you have description, which is Sifa. So Sifa or description comes after at number two. Okay. Second point, one Mawsuf can have multiple Sifa. We have one Mawsuf, but its description can be multiple. Inshallah, we'll see that in the examples in future. And third point, both, and that is a key point. Please pay attention. Both Mawsuf and Sifa must match in all their four properties. They should be same in terms of their status, gender, number, and type. Now, example, look at this one. Narun hamiyatun. Narun is in Rafa status. How do I know? Because it is singular ism, and because of Dhamma at the last haraka, we know it is in Rafa status. Hamiyatun is also singular, so the last haraka is Dhamma, is also Rafa. So both Narun and Hamiyatun are in Rafa status. Narun is feminine. Why? Remember, there was one category of feminine in which we learned in the previous lessons that there's a list of words in the Quran, they are feminine. Narun is one of those words. Okay. So Narun is feminine and Hamiyatun is feminine. How do we know? Because of this round ta at the end. So both of them are feminine. So match, both of them match in their gender. And third property is number. Both of them are singular. How do you know? Because they have no sign of being pair or plural. And lastly, in terms of type, both of them are common. How do I know? There's no sign of being proper. So Narun and Hamiyatun, they both match in all of their four properties. So we'll say that they qualify to be Mawsuf and Sifa. So Narun is Mawsuf, the one being described, and Hamiyatun is Sifa. And what it means? An extremely hot fire. Narun means fire and Hamiyatun extremely hot. So this is what I mean, that both Mawsuf and Sifa, they must match in their four properties. Now, there are some exceptions to this rule as well, and they are very simple. Let me show you that. Exception number one. If the ism being described is a broken plural, and what is broken plural? We learned in the previous module 1 that those plural which are not on the pattern of plural column of your Muslim chart. What is that pattern? Una, ina, ina, in case of masculine. In case of feminine, atun, atin, atin. So if your plural is not rhyming on the pattern of plural column of Muslim chart, we call this one as broken plural. Okay, so this exception says that if ism is broken plural, its sifa will always be, almost, not all the time, almost always be singular feminine. Look at the example to clarify this point. Aqlamun jadidatun. Pens, aqlamun mean pens, and jadidatun mean new pens. Okay, now aqlamun, pens, is a plural, but it's a broken plural. How do I know? Because aqlamun is not rhyming with una or atun. So it's a broken plural. And for this reason, jadidatun, you can see jadidatun is feminine. How do I know? This ta marbuta at the end. And it is singular. Why? It has no sign of being pair and plural. So you see, even though your mawsuf is plural, but it's a broken plural, that's why the sifa or description is singular feminine. This is what I mean in this first point. Inshallah, these examples will come a lot, inshallah, in future. So at this stage, just understand this principle. Second exception. When Allah's names appear in succession, which means one after the other, they are not considered mawsuf sifa, even though they match in all of the four properties. Let's look at the example first. Allahu Ghaniyun Hamidun. Now, at this point, I am not asking you to focus on this first word, Allahu. It will come, this whole sentence and analysis will come in module 3. For now, I'm just concerned with Ghaniyun and Hamidun. Now, just by the look of it, Ghaniyun and Hamidun both match in all of their four properties. What it means? Both of them are singular, both of them are masculine, both of them are common, and both of them are in rafa status. So by the principle, if two ism, they match in all the four properties, they should become, Ghaniyun should become Mawsuf and Hamidun should become Sifa. But it will not happen. Why? Because of this exception. So when Allah's names come in this kind of succession, one after the other, even though they qualify to be Mawsuf Sifa because they match in their four properties, but we still will not say that Ghaniyun is Mawsuf and Hamidun is Sifa. We will not say this because of this principle. Now, you may be thinking at this stage, then what are they? Don't worry at all. This analysis of the whole sentence will come in our module 3. At this stage, I only want you to focus on this part. Last point, last exception. Isms which are inherently proper, which means they are always proper, such as pointing words and pronouns, cannot become Mawsuf. Example, look at this example. Huwa Samiul Alim. Now, Huwa and As-Sami, this ism Huwa and ism As-Sami, they both match in all the four properties. Apparently, look at this one. Huwa and As-Sami both are in rafa status, both are masculine, both are proper, and both are in singular. So they Huwa and As-Sami, they match in four properties. So by rule, Huwa qualifies to be Mawsuf, which means As-Sami will become Sifa, but Huwa will not qualify to be Mawsuf. Why? Because of this principle. Because Huwa is inherently proper, which means it is always proper, because pronouns are always proper. So for this reason, this construction, Huwa and As-Sami, will not qualify to be Mawsuf Sifa. Clear? So let me wrap it up, because we have completed this first phrase or first type of Murakkab Naqis. So please pay attention. Murakkab Tawsifi. What is it? You have two ism and one is describing the other. The one being described is called Mawsuf and description is called Sifa. And the both together called Mawsuf Sifa or Murakkab Tawsifi. This is our the detail of this. Now, the key point is that both Mawsuf and Sifa, they must match in their four properties. That is the key point. But there are three exceptions to it. Exception number one, that if your Mawsuf is broken plural, then its Sifa will be singular feminine. And number two, when Allah's names come in succession, they don't qualify to be Mawsuf Sifa. And number three, those ism which are always proper, like pronouns and pointing words, they cannot become Mawsuf. These are three exceptions. And that's all you need to know about this first phrase, which was Murakkab Tawsifi or adjective phrase. Last, before actually, as you can see, some example from the Quran. Mata'un qalilun is a adjective phrase. Mata'un is Mawsuf, qalilun is Sifa. Shajaratun mubarakatun, a blessed tree, is a Mawsuf Sifa. Al-amalu as-salih, good deed. Okay, Mawsuf Sifa. Uswatun hasanatun, good role model. Uswa, role model. Hasanatun, good. Ad-deenu al-khalis, pure deen. Okay. Ajrun azimun, great reward. So reward is Mawsuf, Ajrun is reward, Mawsuf, and Azimun Sifa. Likewise, all these examples, these are Quranic examples of Mawsuf Sifa. Inshallah, you can pause the video and look at them one by one. Last topic of today's lesson, second phrase is called murakkab idafi or relative phrase. What is it? Murakkab idafi is a phrase which shows correlation between two ism or two ism side by side where one possesses the other or one belongs to the other. So what is it? There are two isms side by side. Either one possesses the other or one belongs to the other. Basically same thing. So this construction is called murakkab idafi. In English we call it relative phrase. Let's look at the example. Or secondly, at this good point here as well. It is actually the same phrase which in English language we express by using of or apostrophe s. Example, house of Ahmad. House of Ahmad. You can also say the same sentence or the same phrase, by the way. Ahmad's house. You see, you use this of or you use the apostrophe s. So in English language, those phrases in which you use of or apostrophe s, this is called in Arabic murakkab idafi. And English name is relative phrase. Okay, now what about the labels? Label means what two parts are called, because in every phrase we have two parts. Like in the previous one, two parts were mawsuf and sifa. In this one, the first part is called mudaf and second part is called mudaf ilay. And together, both of them together are called murakkab idafi, or you can simply call them idafatun or idafa. Clear? Let's look at the example. Hassan's pen. You have two ism, Hassan and pen. Okay. In this one, the object of possession is pen. So object of possession is called mudaf, and Hassan is the possessor, is called mudaf ilay. And together, these two together called murakkab idafi or idafa. Now let me show you the actual Arabic example. Okay, before that, this is an important slide. Inshallah, then we'll see the example after this one. Points to remember. Point number one, nothing comes between mudaf and mudaf ilay. Very important point. In this phrase, you have these two isms side by side, nothing comes in between them. Point number one. Point number two, in order for first ism to qualify as mudaf, it must fulfill two conditions. Condition number one, it must be light. Light means no noon sound. Remember, if you cannot remember, go back to the first module video. Okay. In our first module, we learned the concept of light and heavy. If ism has noon sound, it's called heavy. If you remove the noon sound, it's called light. Example, Muslimun is heavy. Muslimu is light. Muslimuna is heavy. Muslimu is light. So basically, when you remove the noon sound from the ism, it becomes light. So first condition for the mudaf, mudaf means because you have two ism. First part is called mudaf and second part is called mudaf ilay. For this first part of mudaf, you have two conditions. Number one, it must be light, and number two, it must not have alif lam. Okay, in the start. For example, al-muslimu. No, it should be muslimu, not al-muslimu. So alif lam must not be attached with it. So, so the first part, mudaf, must complete these two conditions. And the second part, mudaf ilay, has only one condition. What is that? It must be in jar status. And that's it. Now, in order to make sense of this, let me show you the example. Rasulullah, you have two ism, Rasul and Allah. And they are side by side. There's nothing in between them. Rasulu, the first part, Rasulu, it is light. Why? It has no noon sound. Noon sound means it is not Rasulun. No noon sound. It is Rasulu. So it is light. Second condition, there is no alif lam. It's not ar-rasulu. It is simply Rasulu. So the first part fulfill both conditions. It is light and there's no alif lam on it. Second part, Allahi, Allahi, you see, Allahi is in jar status. And this was the only condition for the second part. Because Rasulu complete both conditions, both of two conditions, and Allah he complete its only one condition, which was in jar status. So we'll say that Rasulu and Allahi, they qualify to be mudaf, mudaf ilay, or murakkab idafi. Now translation, the messenger of Allah. You see, you use this of. So whenever in English translation you need to use of or apostrophe s, this is the sign that this phrase is a murakkab idafi. So this is what I explained on this whole sheet, that Rasulu is mudaf, Allahi is mudaf ilay, and together they will be called murakkab idafi or idafa. Okay, last point of today's lesson, which is about this same murakkab idafi, and this is, inshallah, it will help you a lot when you analyze the text of the Quran. That idafa or murakkab idafi, it appears in the Quran in two forms. Form number A, two clear ism side by side. Same example, Rasulu and Allahi, they together, they are two clear ism. So one ism is Rasul and one is Allah. So one form is that you see two clear ism side by side. And other form is a clear ism plus any of the attached pronouns. Remember, we discussed the chart of attached pronoun in our previous module. Okay, in module 1, last lesson, you can find this thing, which was video number 5. Okay, now look at the example. Clear ism is Rasulu and attached pronoun is who. So Rasulu who, it has two parts, Rasulu and who. But this time the first part is a clear ism and second part is a attached pronoun. So murakkab idafi or relative phrase or idafa appears in these two forms, either two clear ism side by side or one clear ism and other attached pronoun. Okay, this is all you need to know at this stage about murakkab idafi. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. We are learning the concept of murakkab, okay, which means compound, combination of words. It has two categories, murakkab naqis, incomplete, or phrase, and murakkab tam. We are only studying murakkab naqis or incomplete or phrase, only the phrase in this module 2. And we have to study 4 types of phrases. Alhamdulillah, today we covered first one, al-murakkab at-tawsifi, and second one, al-murakkab al-idafi. Inshallah, in our next lesson, we'll complete third and fourth, and with this, our module 2 will be completed. And once we complete all the 4, then inshallah, we'll see the examples from the Quran to clarify them further. Okay. Inshallah, in the description of this video, I'm going to attach the same presentation and complete notes for this lesson. Please, please, please do not miss to download this presentation and notes. Watch the video, read the presentation and notes. If you have any question, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Barakallahu fi, jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.